crazy. Couple weeks feels like a couple years.
Right.
That's how it is in crypto land.
Well, technically, it is the new year, so
Yes.
it is the new year. Um, but yeah, we were just chatting a little bit pre-show, but talking about our plans for this year. So I think we could just kick it off with that, and then we'll jump into some Leo stuff too. But Bitcoin obviously has been kind of skyrocketing. We've got tomorrow is the big day, January 10th, that everyone's been looking at for the Bitcoin spot ETF approval. Um, and I think most of us are, I know at least for me, crossing from 2023 to 2024, I wanted to make sure my portfolio was in order for the bull market. I think this is going to be a huge year for crypto. I mean, honestly, it might be a huge week, depending on how tomorrow goes. So, how has your portfolio looked from 23 to 24? Did you change anything? I know we were chatting a little bit, so I know you've changed a few things, but what have you changed and why, and what do you think of 2024 in general?
Who, me?
Yeah, the cat, scaredy cat
Sorry, I
investor.
was trying to thread. Respond to the taskmaster. Apparently he's making up things about your bodily fluids. Um, you know, not a lot has changed. There's just been additions. My portfolio for the most part is looking pretty much the same in terms of what I've been holding. Because like I held through the majority of the bear market, so it's like, well, why would I sell now when we have a potential bull market coming up? Um, I always get a little wary that all the like normies are, starting to talk about, oh, I gotta get some Bitcoin, the bull, this bull market's going to be this year and blah blah blah. So it's like, when everyone's expecting a bull market because of the halving and, potentially because of the ETF approval if it happens, like that always makes me a little bit wary, but I'm also not going to overthink it because like the saying goes, the trend is your friend, play it till it breaks. So maybe the trend will break. Maybe this will be the first time we have a Bitcoin halving and we don't have a bull market that is somewhere wrapped around it, whether it's, leading up to it or after it or both, like it usually happens. There's usually that sell-off in between. Um, so with that said, I'm just gonna, play the trend and trust that, it's gonna happen. So I probably should still be more aggressive than I have been, but for the most part, I was dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin most of Q3 and Q4 of last year. I added some alts. Obviously, we all know Cal's a big RUNE fan. I did add some RUNE. I also got into another alt, SEI. I don't know how to pronounce it. That's literally the ticker and apparently the name of the coin. That's another one I jumped into as far as an alt that looks like it's got some potential to become, a sizable coin. So those are my two like speculative-ish plays. And then outside of that, really just holding the core I've been holding for a while, and I still have a good chunk of Matic, back from when that was getting hot and when Polycub was becoming a thing. So I still hold a good chunk of Matic. Nothing crazy. Um, I never added any Ethereum. I just have never gotten over my emotional hatred of Ethereum and its gas fees, even with it quote unquote being better now. So I got a little bit of that, but yeah, essentially I need Bitcoin and Rune and SEI to Moon, outside of obviously Hive and Leo. Not that I even have a ton of Hive, it's not like I have some huge bag of Hive. I got a decent little amount, but nothing crazy where if Hive moves, it's not like it's life changing for me. Just be a nice investment. So yeah, the reality is I need Leo and Cub to Moon um, for Cat to really start popping bottles. Outside of that, like I
Popping bottles
said,
at the club.
exactly the at the Leo after party.
Yeah, Leo
So
Island.
yeah, that's it's really it for me. Nothing crazy, I'm probably not nearly as invested as I should be, and I can tell you this: I know the regret I'm going to have of this bull market. It's going to be opposite of the regret I had of the prior two, and it's going to be, damn it, I sold too soon. Because I'm not saying, damn it, I didn't sell any or I didn't sell enough.
Yeah.
Like, so I can tell you right now, I'm going to be selling everything too soon. Like, and I'm still always going to hold core positions, but like, this is why you build your position. So you have some you can sell in the bull markets. So, I plan on selling off. Like, for instance, around 85K was my target for the last bull market. We were basically one leg away from that. So we basically had one less leg than I was thinking or hoping. So, if we break the all-time high, we're pretty much seeing 85K. Like that would, for me is the next target. So when we get to 85K, like I'm probably selling a little bit of Bitcoin. And then if and when Bitcoin cracks 100, I'm selling like a good chunk of my Bitcoin. Um, I'm going to get to the point where, I'm down to nothing but my one forever coin. Um, so that's an example. So, when Bitcoin's at 250K, hypothetically, I'm gonna be looking back saying, crap, I sold way too soon. But I'm fine with
Yeah.
that because, you know, there's real money available, so to speak. And, some people actually might say, no, it's not real money because, crypto is the real money and fiat is, junk. But as of right now, I can still pay for way more things with fiat than I can with crypto. So until that changes, I'm still going to cash out into some fiat to, you know, pay for life. So yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
much how I'm looking at it. And the reality is I need much more coin than I have. I don't think I am happy with the size I have in any coin outside of Leo. Leo's the only coin I probably feel like I have enough of. So dollar Leo, well, would cure a lot of pain.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and we'll jump into the Leo stuff with the tokenomics and everything. But I and my main takeaway from the last couple cycles has been dollar cost averaging is really the only way to feel like you've won after each cycle. So,
Yeah.
dollar cost averaging in during the bear market, like I feel like I have a big bag and I've done a good job of kind of legging out of stable coins and into crypto throughout the last, 2-3 years of the bear market. So I feel like I kind of won this bear market. Also just surviving in general, especially um, with Leo and Cub, Poly Cub, it's not surviving a bear market is honestly one of the hardest things to do as a project. There's a lot of um, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that you guys don't see. There's a lot of things that go on, on the front end spectrum of things where, everything's kind of going to shit. Other projects are failing. As an altcoin, you go down 99%. That's just kind of the nature of bear market cycles. Even, bigger projects like Thorchain, going down 95 to 99% in value, especially as a DeFi project that really hurts sentiment. And then also as a social fi project, which is what Leo is, that it can kill the platform. So, bottoming out at whatever we bottomed out at, 2.5, 3 cents, but now we're back to 6 cents. We kind of survived the worst of the bear market. That, in my opinion, was one of the hardest things to do, just to stay alive. And you stay alive, you survive to the next bull cycle, and you keep building stuff. And then when the bull cycle comes, you obviously recapitalize on what was lost, and then hopefully retake new highs. So yeah, I mean, and I've made a lot of friends in terms of other project owners and people within Thorchain and other projects in the space. And a lot of the advice that I have for people is just figure out how to survive in whatever you think is the worst case scenario in a bear market, make it 10 times worse, and then make it longer than you think it will be. and make sure you can survive that, because that's really what's going to kill you in the end, is if you don't properly plan for these cycles. And these cycles don't just happen in crypto, they happen in everything. Crypto is just an accelerated version. The global economy has cycles too, and a lot of startups, a lot of big companies actually failed recently. Like, there were plenty of companies that just went to complete shit. And I think WeWork is like a really good example of that. Like,
Okay.
there's big companies that went completely to shit because they weren't built to survive a cycle. They weren't built for it. So yeah, I mean, and you have to survive as an individual too. I mean, watching your portfolio go down that much in value is really like soul crushing, and we all know how that feels. So my ultimate advice from an individual perspective is dollar cost average in, dollar cost average out, because when you do it that way, I feel like you don't feel like you lost. So you'll never perfectly time the top, you'll never perfectly time the bottom, but if you average in during the bear market, I think my average purchase price on Bitcoin is throughout the last bear market, not in total, but the last bear market, I want to say probably around like 25K would be my average. I bought some down at 16, I bought some at 20, bought some at 22, bought some at 35. I bought some the other day, a couple days ago, at like 42. So I'm still dollar cost averaging in. And then when the bull market hits, I think most of us kind of expect, Mitch was saying around 85K for like would be the next target. So imagine that when it hits 80K, you start to dollar cost average out. Now your average price in, just to take something like under 30K is your average price in, and then you dollar cost average above 80K. If you end up selling most of your Bitcoin and then it goes to 250, yeah, you could have timed the top and not sold at 80 and sold it all at 250. But I think we all know that that's an impossible task. I mean, you'll never perfectly time that. But if things continue to move in cycles in the way that they do, let's say that you're dollar cost averaging out above 80 and it goes all the way up to 200. And let's just say your average sell price is like 125K. Do you really believe that Bitcoin will never ever go below 125 ever again? So that's kind of my perspective, because I think we all know that the next cycle will hit at some point in the future. And I think, if Bitcoin goes up to 200K, it'll come back down below 125 at some point, and probably even go back down to, 50, 60K. It'll retake some new, higher low. And then you start dollar cost averaging back in. And now you're dollar cost averaging in at a lower price than you ultimately dollar cost averaged out in the last cycle. So that's what I've done the past few cycles, and it's really worked well for me. Another strategy, and I'm writing a blog post to update everybody on this, is my Bitcoin vault strategy, where in the bear market, rather than spend crypto that's at lower values, putting Bitcoin into these vaults, borrowing against it, using that loan to pay for your expenses, and then when the bull market hits, you let Bitcoin go up, and then you start dollar cost averaging out and paying down the loan that you used against your Bitcoin. I've done that now in the last two cycles, and it works incredibly well. Like, at this point, I could sell a piece of the Bitcoin I have in that vault and pay off the entire loan of what I've essentially spent throughout this bear market. So it works super well, and I've been really happy with that strategy. And then obviously dollar cost averaging, just to keep some level of sanity in this crypto market, which is just nuts. So yeah, I think tomorrow will be an interesting day. I think it's easy flip of the coin. Will we go up? Will we go down? I have no idea, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, there's always market cycles, right? So doesn't mean that we see higher highs, but I mean, there's always market cycles,
Right.
and that's why the dollar cost averaging thing generally works um, more often than not.
Yeah, because our emotions take hold, and you make bad decisions because you're thinking, oh, Bitcoin's at 60K, but it's going to go to 100K because everyone was calling 100K in the last cycle. Even I was, but I was dollar cost averaging out even at 40, 50, 60K. I was still selling a little bit every single day, and ultimately Bitcoin topped out at whatever 65K. So dollar cost averaging out and then seeing Bitcoin drop back down to 40, 30, 20, it really kept me sane. I felt like I won that bull cycle. I didn't sell all of my Bitcoin at the top, but I sold, a material percentage of it, probably over 75% of my
Oh,
Bitcoin,
wow.
Ethereum. Yeah, I sold by the time we hit like 65K and topped out, I had sold a majority of my portfolio into stable coins. So I felt very successful in the last bull cycle. And ultimately, I think that's why, I and also the projects have survived this bear market has just been because I put so much away into stable coins that I've been comfortable to kind of make it. And now my bags are reloaded and I was looking at my portfolio and I've got some more work to do to analyze it because I wanted to just kind of have everything in order for the new year. But I have way more coin now than I did before. So I have way more Bitcoin, way more Rune, way more Leo. I have more Hive, more Ethereum. Um, so just in general, I just have more tokens.
All the
From a
usual
unit
suspects.
perspective. Yeah, from a unit perspective. So
Nice.
yeah, so I feel like I've won the last bear cycle. Hopefully, I've won this bear. Did I say bearable? I feel like I won the last bull cycle. Then I feel like I won the last bear cycle the last 2-3 years, and now hopefully I'll feel like I win the upcoming bull cycle and dollar cost average out of these positions and feel good about it.
Yeah. Well, and it was funny because earlier when we were talking, I mentioned, I have a piece of Bitcoin that I'm automatically dollar cost averaging out of because it's staked on Pancake Swap, and it's not the unlimited range. Like I put a range so I could get a better yield, and
Yeah,
it was like a 20,000 point range, but with Bitcoin going up, like I'm towards the top end of that range, and if Bitcoin pushes like basically another like 7,000 um, points, it's going to be the point where like I'm in all stable coin because it's at the top of the range and all the Bitcoin's been sold. So I guess that's good because it's taking care of it for me without even thinking about it. And it's, like a small portion of my overall Bitcoin. So it works out pretty well. That kind of almost makes me want to add and start another range to like, do like a one to That's actually a great idea. If I plan on selling any at 85, I should just put in whatever I plan on selling at 85 and put that as, my new staking range.
yeah,
85 is the top, and then like whatever, we're going to do for a bottom, which, at this point with Bitcoin, it's like, all right, what would be like a crazy bottom? I'm feeling pretty confident, I mean, 30 is probably like definitely, but like 35 and do like a range from 35 to 85. Will the yield be as good? No, but at the same time, I'll earn yield um, on my Bitcoin. And then at the end of the day, if we get to 85, it's all sold off. And granted, you're selling on the way up, so it's different than just selling at 85. So in theory, you're going to make less money, but the yield is also, offsetting that. So
yeah.
I'd have to do some maths to see how
Maths.
that would play out with the yield and everything.
Got to get a mixed spreadsheet going.
Exactly. I
Um,
need a mixed spreadsheet.
yeah. Tokenized Society asked, "Hey Cal, did you get your Cybertruck yet?" Um, so I tweeted the other day because I uh, finally got invited to order my, design and order it. So they're saying delivery by mid to end of this year. I'm kind of hoping because I saw some people on the forum say that it is sooner than their estimate is the estimate you get after you order it. So I already had to put the deposit down and everything, but I got to design it. So I'm excited. It'll be my first. I've never had a Tesla, so I've never had an electric car ever. So it'll be my first
Nice.
electric car. I got the Foundation series, which is like the Founder series. Um, and if you guys know anything, it's I got the Cyber Beast edition, so it's like 1,000 horsepower,
Yes.
0 to 60 in like 2.6 seconds. The
That's
thing
just
weighs
scary.
6,000 pounds. Yeah, I
So
mean, it's
basically
nuts.
a tank that's as fast as a Lambo.
Literally,
That sounds like a great idea.
right? Yeah, there's
Oh
a funny
man.
video that Tesla did, a promotional video where they raced the Cybertruck against Porsche 911, and the Cybertruck was also towing another Porsche 911, and it still beat the 911.
That's insane.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta watch. If you guys haven't seen it, you gotta watch it. It's really hilarious.
That's
Taskmaster
insane.
said, "Screw the vehicle, I own the stock." Yeah, I've also owned the stock for a very long time, so I'm excited to finally get one.
Yep. I own the stock as well. And then also, as you guys know, I've been trading options on Tesla last year. I did all right on those, doing the poor man covered calls. Ironically, I would have been better off just holding the leap outright. I would have been up like four times the amount, but it is what it is. It's an
Tesla
income
just went nuts
strategy.
though.
Yeah, so and then I was flat. I got out actually right before that last sell-off. I closed and I wanted to be flat for the year just for tax purposes. And I was going to get back in. I was like, my price was like, all right, if this thing gets down to 233, like I'm going to establish a new position. And then Friday we got like a reversal candle and it looked like, all right, it got down to 234 and change. I guess we're not going any lower. By the time I saw it though, think I got in at like 239. And then sure enough, that mofo was down to 233 today. I was like, some bitch. Should have waited. But whatever. Yeah. So I initiated a new poor man's covered call on Tesla. And that's all I have going because I planned on being pretty active trading options this year. But then my buddy wrote me into a bunch of big real estate deals, and I've been spending all my time so far talking to lenders and underwriting these apartment buildings that is fun and all, but makes me no money unless we actually close.
Right, gotta close.
Yes. So, because I need some of that Cal type money so I can order a Cybertruck. I actually don't want a Cybertruck. The only Tesla I've ever wanted, and I still want, hasn't changed, and it's been pretty much, the baller model, so to speak, is the Model S Plaid Edition, which I think is like, I don't know, 120K or something.
Yeah,
So
those are cool.
if I ever get a Tesla, that's what it'll be. So need to make much more monies before that happens. But yeah, I mean, because it's a combination of awesome car and like can be a daily driver as well.
Right, right. Ahmad Manga asks, "Is buying such vehicles a good investment?" Definitely not. Definitely don't recommend buying vehicles as an investment. Um, those are just for
Oh,
fun. I enjoy cars. It's like a hobby, side hobby of mine. Um, but yeah, don't recommend it as an investment.
oh yeah, 100% liability. Yeah,
Yep.
cars are not good investments. I mean, obviously there's people that invest in cars and make money flipping like classic cars and things like that. But
Yeah.
for the most part, yeah, no. Cars are liabilities and it's that's why I haven't spent any money on fun cars because I don't feel like I'm at the point where I should be throwing that money around. But I'll get there. I'll get there.
MView said, "Do you think Rune is still a good buy at $5?" Yeah, I mean, I bought some yesterday. I'll probably buy some today. It's at like 480. Um, but yeah, I mean, I've still been buying. I my long-term price target is uh between like 50 and $75 for Rune. So I'll probably start dollar cost averaging out around 30 though. Which would be like a new all-time high for Rune. I think the all-time high was like $22. So that's my plan for Rune. I've just been dollar cost averaging in, and then like I said, when we hit a price target like $30, that's when I'll start to dollar cost average out. Maybe like 1% of my Rune at a time per day or something. And my target though is like $60, I would say average um, for Rune, which would be like a $25 million market cap, which is the market cap for Uniswap at its all-time high was 25 million. So I think that could be easily achieved by Rune, if not even more. And
Oh
Rune just
wow.
keeps Thorchain keeps hitting new all-time highs in terms of trading volume. So I actually just put out a thread. I think it was like $350 million traded yesterday on Thorchain. which used to be like the monthly volume, and now it's doing it in a day. I think at the beginning of 2023, that was like the monthly volume was like 250 to 350 million ish, and now they're doing it every single day. So it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts.
All right. Am I looking at market caps incorrectly on Coin Market Cap? Because I'm looking at what is this? All right, so that would be hundreds, that would be thousands, that would be millions. So like right now it's showing Thorchain number 47
It's like
and
1.6 billion.
1.6, yeah, 1.62. Okay.
Yeah.
Where's my SEI coin? Somewhere up here. Oh, oh, there you go. It's neck and neck with Thorchain. It's number 48 at
Nice.
1.605. I need
Nice.
these two. I need both these two to get into the top 10, or at least in the top 25, which would only be, wow, they'd have to more than double though, based on top 25 numbers to an extent. Not really. What do we got for 25th? Hey, good old Stella at 3.2. So yeah, a little
Hmm.
more than a double. Damn, that's it. That sucks. All right, I need them to get to the top 10. I mean, Maddox, what? Says the thing, Maddox a top 15 coin at 7.5 billion. And I think Rune and SEI can easily be worth as much as Matic in market cap,
Yeah. Easily.
and
Easily.
probably should be already.
Yeah. I mean, I think Thorchain is incredibly undervalued. They've reached product market fit at this point, and I think it's more a, I think it's more still a bear market, and combine that with, Thorchain just needs more time to mature. And then obviously they had the hacks and stuff, but I mean, it's literally gone from $1 to like $5 now. So it's it's pretty wild, and it's just going to keep. I think it's just going to keep grinding up. I really think. Like, I mean, you'll see it jump. Like, it jumped up to almost 7, and then now it's down to 480. But
Yep.
but that's just natural. I mean, you had a lot of people that bought it $1, and then they sold it at 7. They 7x their money, and they're going to get out. So when it hits $10, $20, it's going to hit some ceilings and then bounce back down. But as long as that trading volume keeps grinding up, I don't really see an end in sight in terms of how big Thorchain could get. You look at exchanges like Binance and Coinbase and the value that they accrue. It just now take that value, but imagine that instead of a company, you've got RUNE accruing all that value. So
Yeah.
I'm very, very, very bullish on RUNE. And we were talking about that pre-show. I've really loaded my bags on RUNE, and I continue to buy even at this price.
So, I'm gonna touch on an overall theme of, bull markets and economy, and then we'll dive into questions because they're just stacking up. It's funny as we're talking about all this, and people have concerns about the economy, this year and all that stuff. And the funny part is, you know, you mentioned like, buying Cybertruck, blah, blah, blah. But a crypto bull market is really good for the economy because we all know, listen, there's a lot of crypto bros that like to spend money. So when crypto's mooning, they're buying Cybertrucks and, balling out on vacations and whatever it is. So a crypto bull market, ironically, could be the thing that helps support the economy in 2024 if we do see quote unquote weakness with maybe the velocity of money and the money supply slowing and shrinking finally having an impact, because that's been going on now for like a year and a half, and we really haven't seen that impact. But the reality is, as liquidity dries up, it's going to at some point impact the economy because money's the driver. So I'm surprised it hasn't really shown any kind of impact yet. So I'm hoping for a bull market even to help the economy continue to stay prosperous.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, Speaking of economy, this kind of loops into it, and that would be Evergreen content. So Lucial asked, what's the update for Evergreen content?
Yeah, I put out a thread earlier today just talking about a few of the things we as a team are working on this week. Um, and one of them is we had to. So the first Leo ads distribution was supposed to be January 1st. And then we tried to run it, and the HE nodes, just the Hive Engine nodes, just completely took a shit on us. So me and the devs have been kind of trying to figure out what to do for the distribution part, because there's how many distributions? Somewhere on the order of like 5 to 10,000 transactions need to happen in a very short period of time. So we figured out we have to build our own HE node. So we've been working on that, because it also has to have a custom rate limit integrated into it. So as soon as that's done, which I'm hoping to have done by this Friday, we will have the first Leo ads distribution out for the first month of it. And then obviously it's been still accruing. So, the first month, and then it'll keep going. But yeah, hopefully the first month will be out by this Friday. Once we get this node situation figured out with Hive Engine. And then included in that, so I've talked about this before, but the Leo ads distribution has one segment which is for Leo Power holders, and then the other segment is for Evergreen authors for long form. So the way I described it before was that in order to be eligible for the Leo ads distribution as a Leo Power holder, the first step is that you have to be an active curator of content. So that's threads or blog posts. That's like the barrier to entry. So you have to be active as a curator. And the second piece to that is you have to hold Leo Power. And the amount of Leo Power that you hold is how your payout is determined. So the first step is be active in order to be eligible. And then the second step is the distributions are stake weighted. So the more Leo you have, the more Leo Power you have, the more your ads distribution will be. So those are the two pieces for that. And then for the Evergreen rewards, the barrier to entry is how many views your content has. So you have to have above a certain amount of views each month for your content. And this is all your content. So the ads contract is actually super complex, because the Evergreen rewards are calculated based on how many views all of your content gets. And that's all the content that you've ever published from INLEO.io, or obviously from leofinance.io, from the UI. Any blog post that you've ever posted in history is tabulated as a part of your total views for each month. So you can imagine that, take Taskmaster as a really good example. You can, all the blog posts he's ever published, and I know that he publishes from INLEO.io, are all calculated as part of Evergreen rewards. So, if he's got, let's just say 1,000 blog posts that he's made over the last, 4 years being a part of the community, and they get, across all those 1,000 blog posts, they get 10,000 views every single month. He's going to get an ad check based on those 10,000 views every single month forever. So if he starts creating more content, figuring out how to get more views, sharing it on X, making it more rank higher on Google, that just will keep increasing his Evergreen rewards every single month forever. So I really see a future where we create an environment where bloggers on Hive, like up until now with the Evergreen rewards, you've never been able to earn beyond the 7-day payout window on Hive. Like you make a piece of content, you get upvoted, you earn rewards for 7 days, and that's it. With Evergreen rewards, you make a piece of content, you earn the same 7-day payout window, but then beyond the 7-day payout window, literally in perpetuity, you get paid for those blog posts based on the views that they bring in. So if you write a really good blog post and it gets views, 3 years from now, it starts picking up a ton of monthly views. You're going to be earning from that blog post that you made 3 years in history. You're going to be earning for that, every single month. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that shapes up. And I'm very curious to see who the top Evergreen earners are. I already know because I've obviously seen the data. There's one author that really focuses on SEO, and you can see it. He's the top viewed author on the UI, and he actually doesn't even create that much content. That's the crazy part. It's not just volume. You actually have to figure out how to create content that people view from the outside. So you have to find a way to rank on Google. You have to share it on X. So I think it's really going to change the game. It's not something where you're going to just like see an immediate like evergreen rewards go out and then suddenly like everything changes. I think it's going to be kind of something that builds up over time, especially with how I've seen the views kind of ship in and shape out. Is that, you know, the long form on INLEO isn't getting a ton of views right now. There's only a handful of people that are even going to get evergreen rewards to start. But I think once those rewards are in place, there's going to be some really good incentive structures to start focusing on SEO and how can I interlink my content to get more views. And we're going to build a dashboard kind of similar to Twitter's dashboard where it shows you, you know, how many impressions your content gets. And it talks about, you know, your top post of the month in terms of impressions and stuff like that. So I think I think that dashboard is going to be really cool in helping you figure out how do I make more evergreen rewards. And then Leo AI has been, you know, a big focus for us recently. So we've been building an in-house AI for the INLEO UI. And so far it's indexed every thread ever created, and then it works in real time. So like you guys, every time you make a thread right now, Leo AI is reading those and indexing them in real time. One thing that I want to build into the AI system is in your dashboard, in your user analytics dashboard, you can ask it questions like, I earned 10 cents last month from Evergreen Rewards. How can I increase that to $10 for next month? And then Leo AI will look at your blog post and it'll say, well, I think you did this, this, and this right. And I think you could improve on, you know, X, Y, and Z. And it'll be like using ChatGPT, but it'll be like using ChatGPT that's trained on all of your blog posts and all of your threads. So I think that's going to be super cool. Tasker said, when are threads going to be added to Evergreen content? We'll have to see if we add threads to Evergreen content. It's going to be a ridiculously large size database if we add threads to the Evergreen contract. So, you know, I want to focus on getting blog posts to work flawlessly for the Evergreen contract, and then, you know, maybe we can look at threads down the line. But and that being said, I mean, most threads don't even get enough views to be worth being on Evergreen. Like they wouldn't even get past the minimum view threshold. So yeah. And then also, you know, older threads don't get a lot of views now, but there are going to be some new things in place where I think older threads will start to actually gain more views. One of those being, you know, Leo AI, where like you'll be able to ask Leo AI some sort of question like, you know, show me a thread about Thorchain trading volume throughout history. And then it might show you a thread like I posted one today about Thorchain, you know, reaching a new all-time high in trading volume. But let's say you use that AI a year from now, it could show you my thread from a year prior, and then it shows it to you. So that'll be interesting. And then obviously we just need, you know, and this will take us to more high level stuff, but we need more users. We need more people on the UI searching things, clicking links. You know, our user base is still very tiny. So we're building all these systems, but in order for them to really have a large impact, you have to grow the user base. We're at like 1,700 monthly active users right now. So, and obviously we have that hard deadline now where we have to reach basically 10,000 monthly active users by December of this year, or I have to pay the Hive DHF 250 grand. So we've got a nice incentive for me to step up the game and really start onboarding. It's been a huge focus for us, but I think in 2024, it's going to be a big ramp up. And then you guys are seeing that the UI is becoming more stable. You know, we're adding a lot more features, but we're also really focusing on speed and stability. So, you know, building our own node was a huge piece of that. You know, building a bigger Leo cache, big piece of that. So yeah, I'd say the key words in Q1 of this year is going to be stability and speed for the UI. So focusing on those pieces, and then obviously Leo AI is going to be a big focus for the whole year. You know, just working on it, getting it ready. I've been using, obviously we've got it for the team to test out. So I've been using it for various things, and you guys have seen me kind of play around with it and post some of its answers. But that's definitely a big thing that we're focused on. And then, yeah, I mean, then working with influencers, obviously going to be a big piece of this year and onboarding new people. So definitely excited.
All the things happening.
All of the things, all of the things. Let's
User
just say that we've been busy.
yes. User onboarding. Push, push, push. The clock is ticking.
Clock is ticking. Yeah, and I can't stress enough. I mean, I've told a few of you in the threadcast, just replying to you, but the hashtag feedback tag is it's like my public service announcement. Using that hashtag feedback tag is really important. I and the whole team are like constantly looking at that feed for what we can improve on and fix, and bugs that you guys find, and really like use that tag, include screenshots, include as many details as you can so that we can reproduce issues and fix them. It's like the number one thing. And then if you have feature requests, throw them in the hashtag feedback tag. I would say that I spend at least 25% of my time on the UI on that tag. I'm just like literally scrolling through it. So I'm on there every single day. So keep using that tag to do feature requests and bug reports. That's really the most efficient way that I've found that we can do stuff. Mr. Hive said, who's going to be the highest earner on Evergreen rewards? I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, the first distribution will go out. Like I said, there's only a handful of people that are even above the minimum threshold of views to get the Evergreen rewards. And then I think people are going to have to really work on improving their content and the visibility of their content in order to get there.
So when you talk about minimum number of views from what source?
It doesn't matter the source. It's the contract is reading for ad impressions. So
Gotcha.
it's just any impressions on the ads from an article that you created that is also from INLEO.io. It can't be from like PeakD or Ecency. It
Yeah.
has to be from the UI.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, Mr.
Very,
Hive said,
very
look out for
interesting.
massive use of the interface once the first Evergreen reward has been paid. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the rewards aren't going to be super high right away because not that many people actually even use INLEO for long form. A lot of people are using other UIs, but I think it's going to become a no-brainer to use the INLEO UI when you publish long form. Even if you write it in a different, editor, like if you write it in HackMD or PeakD or Ecency, but then you copy paste and post it from INLEO.io. I think it's going to become a huge growth factor for Leo. And as May Smith said, in old days there was simple analytics. Yeah, we still have simple analytics. So it's in the link is in the docs, but let me see if I can just get you the link. Yeah, I can get it for you.
The docs.
I'll just post it as a thread in the threadcast. But yeah, you can still use simple analytics for INLEO.io. So
Huh. What is this? So this is an interesting question. iJets asked, I've seen some INLEOans complaining about the limited search scope on threads. Could INLEO partner with a V4V decentralized search engine like Presearch to improve both the searcher's efficiency and the user's monetization?
yeah, I actually put that out in a thread earlier today, that same thread that I was talking about, the things we're delivering this week. One of them is the new search module. So I don't think we'll integrate anything like an external engine. We'd rather have our own. We've built our own internal engine. And if you guys have actually ever tried searching threads, I think the interface could use some work, but it actually works super well. Like I can search Thorchain and find threads from a year ago where I was talking about Thorchain. and you can just use the search functionality on the explore page and see how good it is. So we've built our own search engine, but I just think the UI for searching isn't good. The new UI we've built though is really good. I actually showed a sneak peek to Taskmaster because one of the search categories you can do is Leo glossary terms. So we're finally integrating that. So yeah, the new search feature is really nice. And I'm planning on having it to labs by Friday, so we'll see. But yeah, it works incredibly well. I'm really excited for the new search feature, and you'll be able to pull up. This was a big thing for me. If you're a Mac user, then you know this. If you do like command space as a Mac user, it pulls up the spotlight search on your computer, where you can just like search anything. So we're gonna have that on the UI where if you do control space and you're on inleo.io, it'll pull up the search bar right in the middle of the page, and you can literally just start typing anything, and then it'll find it for you. So it's gonna be really good.
Cool.
Yeah, Drax.Leo. I don't think there is a good search feature on anywhere on Hive. I think we've got probably the best one that I've seen, because we have full text rich search with a vector space. So I mean, I've never seen anything that works as well as it, but it's like I said, the UI needs work, but the engine itself, like the back end engine, is really good.
So I'm seeing like a bunch of questions that kind of wrap around the same thing. And basically it's, what can people use to check like the top traffic pages on INLEO and just traffic in general. Obviously, I guess people got used to simple analytics, and now I guess people are looking for a way to easily figure out that data.
Yeah, I would use simple analytics, and then like I said earlier, we're going to have a dashboard that gets integrated. So
With this, have you will make no abuse use in ways, but blah blah blah. Huh, that's interesting. I actually, Brando mentioned he writes on Peak D, but then publishes on InLeo, and I write on InLeo. I actually am more comfortable with that than Peak D as far as the draft UI. What is this? Josie Proza asked, was there anything about Cub? No, we have not discussed anything about Cub. I don't know if there's any updates in regards to Cub. That's right, Mr. Hive. You got to stake the coin in order to be part of Evergreen. So that does give incentive to power up.
yep.
Anywho, yeah, so as far as Cub, I don't think there's really any updates. I think what the bridge functionality is going to be up and running in the near future. And then outside of that, I think all is the same, right?
Well, we made a bunch of updates to the bridges. So BLEO, PLEO, WLEO have been working pretty flawlessly lately.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so a bunch of updates there. And then we added a BHBD and Beehive power down feature for people that are unwrapping large amounts. Because
Interesting.
yeah, there's a whole situation behind that. But if you've tried to unwrap um, a large amount of BHBD or
So
Beehive,
where does one find said feature of power down of BHBD?
if you unwrap a large amount, it will just automatically become a power down.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
So we've done all this stuff to kind of get back to normal with the bridges. And I think in the next probably hopefully like 2 or 3 months, I think we'll see kind of a more return to normal situation for everything related to bridges and DeFi, which is going to be a good timeline in terms of the bull market.
Awesome
Yeah,
stuff.
Mr. Hive, I'm still picking winners for the 3 month of premium, but I will pick those soon, very soon.
Sweet. I didn't know that was a thing. How many said winners are being picked
I
and
don't.
what
I haven't
for?
decided how many. I mean, I really only. I just said some winners. So I got a
So
lot
there's
more
just like a
comments than I
random thing.
expected. Yeah, I just did it randomly on New Year's Eve. I just said comment with your New Year's resolutions.
Oh, nice.
So
Sweet.
I'll probably pick like 5 to 10 winners or something from that. I just have to go through them.
Awesome.
Esme
Cat's gonna go.
asked, "Is it possible for us to get an internal market option like we have on ECNC and Peak D?" Where I actually have an idea for something that is related to Thorchain. Um, I don't know if we'll do an internal like Hive HBD marketplace. But my idea is to have a Thorchain swap module added to the INLEO UI. And then that will allow us to also earn affiliate fees. So like you'll be able to use the INLEO UI to swap any crypto, and it'll use Thorchain as the swap backend. But then obviously we'll just have a swap module on the front end. And then any of the swap affiliate fees that we earn would go towards buying Leo off the market. And then either we'll add it to the pool of, like Leo ads pool, for example, or we'll add it to um, what we're doing with like Leo Premium, where we're buying Leo and buying Hive and then pooling it. So going to be something like that. Um, and the fees can be huge. Like I just saw Trust Wallet is making $250,000 a week in affiliate fees from swaps. So
Damn.
those affiliate fees really stack up.
Sweet.
Tokenized Society said when Thor Leo. Yeah, we've been working on that. A Nomad Soul and I had a call a couple weeks ago about it. So we are making some progress, but hopefully in the near sooniverse.
A couple people asked how many premium users there are right now. I know One Alpha usually does a post on that. He did one, I think at the end of the year. I forgot now what it was. It was either we had two and change or one and change. I made a comment too because I was like, next stop 300 or 200, whatever it was. I forget. So it's either close to 200 or close to 300. I just really can't remember.
Yeah, I don't actually know off the top of my head. Either a Nomad Soul or One Alpha has that data.
I saw that.
IDK Samad said when Leo spot ETF.
Ah,
Uh, I don't know, but whenever that happens, Leo Island will be directly following it.
pretty much.
Um, any
That's an
plans for a
interest.
Solana bridge from John Timms? I don't think so. I think the next major thing on the DeFi front is going to be getting Leo on something like Thorchain, where we will automatically then be connected to things like Solana by being on the Thorchain rails. Um, that will be kind of the next step. Alu J said close to 200 for monthly
There you
premium
go. All right. So yeah, it was
users.
close to 200. I just know that even though I was delayed a few days after the launch, I still managed to get into I think I'm in the top 50.
Nice.
Or where is it? Or was it top 25? I think it was top
Make
50.
sure you're creating regular blog posts if you're a premium user.
Yeah,
Some
it's
there's
funny.
juicy votes out there.
Ever since I've been premium, I've probably blogged less just because the last month has been bananas. I used to blog every day, and now I'm blogging probably every it's probably every third day the way it's going. But I'll get one out today. A lot of blogs lately about SEI and RUNE in terms of like the charts. That's pretty much
Yeah.
what it's been for me lately, and some Bitcoin. Yeah, a couple days ago, yeah. That's not as bad. Like every other day, sometimes every third day. Oh no, I had a week gap at one point. December, busy month. But anywho, what else we got? Um, threads. Oh, I gotta get back to threads. I've clicked off the threadcast. What do we got?
Uyabong, I've mentioned premium for businesses
Yeah.
and corporate organizations for a time. How do you see that it's operational on X? And you know how well it's helping to spread the reach of the INLEO brand. Yeah, so we actually have a corporate subscription for X Premium on the INLEO account, and it's actually been doing really well. We'll put up a post at some point about the impressions growth for the INLEO account on X, but it's definitely having an impact on the brand. I think we will at some point have a organization level premium subscription on INLEO. So it would obviously look very similar to X. And then what I would like to see is collaborating with projects on Hive, obviously first, and then going for outside projects on getting them set up with a premium subscription. But I want to add a lot more like organization level tools to the UI before we go for that. So like as a premium user, you get access to a lot of extra features, obviously like the check mark, being able to edit your threads, and other stuff like that. And for an organization, there's a different feature set that they're going to be wanting or looking for, mainly around brand engagement and stuff like that. So I definitely want to add something for organizations. One thing that I like that X has done is, so like we have this as a organization, a premium organization on X. We also get monthly credits for ads, so we can run $1,000 a month worth of ads for free because we just have $1,000 in ad credits every month as an organization. So I want to do the same thing on INLEO when we get the new ad module added, which I've told you guys about, where people can launch ads directly on INLEO. So you can like create an ad, kind of like Facebook Ad Manager or Twitter Ad Manager. Once we get that live, I think then we can look at adding organization premium, because I want to give the same type of like ad credit to organizations who subscribe on inleo.io. So like, for example, let's just say we make the org premium cost, $500 a month, 500 HPD a month. Then I want to have organizations get, say, $500 worth of ad credits on INLEO every single month that they can spend to do ads and promote their business on INLEO. So something very similar to Twitter is what we'll end up building. That'll definitely go live at some point this year. I just don't know when. Ahmad Manga said when new Leo ads module, definitely sometime, I would say before Q2. Andersino, yeah, we talked about Leo ads for a while. If you want to jump back in the recording. IDK Samad, who controls the INLEO account on Twitter? Is it you or someone else? It's a mix of me and a Nomad Soul. Andersino asked, "What's the plan with the YouTube channel?" Yeah, we were actually hitting a nice stride with the Crypto Daily podcast that I started doing. It's just a lot of work for me. I need to get I was thinking about that though, this past week. Because I was regular about it for a while. I was doing like Monday through Friday. But it's a lot of work to like research, 6 to 10 top crypto news pieces and then put it together as a video and, obviously upload and all that. But we did onboard a new team member who does video editing and videography. So that has taken kind of like the uploading and editing part out of the equation. The next thing I want to do is find a crypto news research assistant who can just research everything for me. So I can like wake up in the morning and they send me, the script of what I'm talking about for crypto news that day. And then I can just record it, send it to the videographer, and that's it. And then I don't have to worry about it too much. And then we can kind of So once that gets in place, then we can kind of get back to regularly posting. But some of those crypto daily videos did really well. They got a couple thousand views, and obviously that ultimately leads to people clicking the inleo.io description link and learning more about what we are. So I definitely want to keep building that. And then also the TikTok, on X, the branding there, and then YouTube Shorts. So all that stuff is definitely going to start heating up more now that we got the videographer. And then, like I said, when we get the next piece, which will be someone to help with the research.
Huh. What's the 10-second pitch that'll make me FOMO into Leo with all my money? Well, I mean, we could technically end with that because we've been going for a solid hour now. So,
Yeah,
um,
I think we've gotten most of the questions.
what is this? Is there any reason images from other sources other than image URL go down in resolution drastically once images go into, I don't even know how to pronounce that. IMG URL with INLEO are
Imgur.
those images on the blockchain?
Yeah, I would post that. If you can take a screenshot of that happening and post it as a hashtag feedback thread, I can take a
Yep,
look.
feedback. Put it
Yeah.
in the feedback.
Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but we greatly improved the hover module. So if you hover over someone's account, big improvement there.
Oh wow, look at that. It gives estimated account value. That's scarily easily accessible.
We are on the blockchain. All is known.
What? This can't be right. There's
We
no
might
way
need to
this is
check. We might need to check on the estimated account value now that I look at it.
that, or there's some people that I didn't realize are holding some serious Leo.
I think it's using the future price of Leo
It
at
looks
one
like it.
dollar. It looks like it's $1.
That's too funny.
It must be confused and using HBD or something, but
Oh yeah, yeah. It's
or
it's
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 the
used. Everyone's
future
getting
value Leo.
teased. Everyone, we just freaking 15x'd in seconds flat. That's too funny. I wish. Oh my goodness. I was
IDK
like
mod
looking.
when Leo shorts. We're still working on that. We had some issues with the three speak part of it, but we'll get there.
All right. I'm just waiting for Dollar Leo so my account value, estimated account value can be what it actually says right now. I'm sure everyone else would be happy too.
Yeah, we'd all be happy. I think we'll see it
Too
in this bull
funny.
market, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, we'll see. 2024 is here. Everyone is bullish on upcoming Bitcoin halving and potential ETF and all that good stuff. We shall see what happens. I do know one thing, one way or another, we'll see volatility, and I'm sure there'll be some hard rips up and some hard rips down. But ideally, at the end of the day, the prices are higher come later in the year.
Yep,
And
that's what we want
that's
to see.
all I got to say as far as my closing statements.
Sweet. Yeah.
FOMO into whatever coin you want.
Get your bags ready. That's all I can say. Get your bags
Exactly.
ready. Get your Leo
Pick your
bags, your
horse.
RUNE bags, your Bitcoin bags. Get them all
Pick your
ready.
horses. Leo, Bitcoin.
Sweet. Win $1 very soon, very soon. But that
Exactly.
sounds like a good place to wrap. We will see you guys next week. It will be January 16th, next Tuesday.
In the meantime, stack your Leo and power up often.
Stack, one power up.
No doubt. All right,
Sweet.
all. 2024.
Yep. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Later.
Peace.